I will often hear teachers say that they're reluctant to teach character because it may detract or undermine student performance. If it is not their feeling, this statement is then given about other teachers at their school when addressing the challenges associated with a character counts implementation. How about you? Do you sometimes feel this way too? I have to tell you, this thinking really misses the point about how good teachers already teach. Effective schools do character education, as I believe teaching values cannot be avoided. It's found in the way you talk, the behaviors you model, the conduct you tolerate, the deeds you encourage, and the expectations you transmit. Yes, you are already doing character education. The only question is how formalized the process is by which you integrate core values of character counts into academic lessons. Tom Lacona has said that down through history, education has always had two goals. One is to help young people become smart, and the second is to help them become good. We'd like our schools to graduate students who are able to perform academically, but still have a moral compass to guide them in making decisions. So why do teachers feel if they teach character that the result will be reduced student performance? Well, if our students come to class prepared, take responsibility for completing homework, are honest, show respect towards the teacher and classmates, and demonstrate that they truly care about others, will not teachers have more time to teach and not less? And we know what the research says about time on task. Richard Roberts paints a compelling portrait of the value of non-cognitive skills. Roberts says this: devoting class time to these skills is a more effective way to increase academic achievement than spending all of your time on academic content itself. Obviously, the core values of trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and good citizenship are not just things we try to do to kids. Rather, they are outcomes we like to see in the students we have the responsibility to educate. Teach academics and not character? It's not possible. Keep that thought in mind as I share the process for the intentional integration of character into the life of your school. A few years ago, Nike created the slogan, "Just do it." It didn't take long for Nike's message to resonate. The brand became more than just athletic apparel. It began to embody a state of mind. It encouraged one to think that if you don't have to be an athlete to be in shape or tackle an obstacle, if you want to do it, Nike said, just do it. That's all it took for some to accomplish a goal. Let me share with you an acronym that hopefully can resonate with you on what character counts can look like for you as an educator. The process is for you to team character, T.E.A.M. When I say team, there might be other words that you would insert with the words or the letters T, E, A, M. It could be something like together everyone achieves more, or together everyone accomplishes more. When I Googled the acronym TEAM, I was surprised to find 43 definitions of team. But the one I'd like to use with you today, and you to think about this idea of just do it, is T for teach, E for enforce, A for advocate, and M for model, team. Allow me to briefly unpack each of these important steps to take with character counts. The first, the T is for teach. Define the pillars of character in language that is applicable to the age of your students. But at the same time, make sure they understand what the values mean in terms of their own behavior and conduct. Intentionally and explicitly initiate instructional strategies to teach the pillars as part of your academic lessons. Secondly, the letter E is for enforce. As a teacher, you face issues related to character whenever a student makes a decision to learn or not to learn, to act out in anger or not, to disrupt your class or not, to be unkind to others. See, classroom management and student discipline are areas where these norms and interpersonal skills of the 6 pillars are the most obvious. Make sure you define and teach behavioral expectations evident in the 6 pillars. This means we reward and recognize appropriate and positive behavior while applying fair and consistent negative consequences for students not adhering to our established expectations. The A is for advocate. Communicate clearly and continuously the importance you and your school attaches to character and the values you want to instill. There should be constant encouragement while making sure you're not neutral about the importance of good character as it links with your faith-based curriculum. And for younger students, it could be something as simple as thumbs up or thumbs down when we talk about a particular value or trait. Finally, M is for model. To me, this is extremely important for a successful Character Counts initiative. Think of it this way. Your students may not listen to what you say, but they believe all it is that you do. Team, the process that you initiate to direct an effective and meaningful Character Counts program. Allow me to put what I have shared with you into a practical lesson that can be done at any grade level and even multiple times, I think, throughout the year. Start with a couple of pieces of chart paper and a marker and ask your students to tell you all the different character traits they know. Not only should the 6 pillars of character be included, but allow them to include other desirable traits in the academic and social-emotional domains. Tell students this is a 2-day project, and for older students, they can use Post-it notes to jot down where and when they discovered any of the traits in a class assignment, reading of a story and student behavior in and out of class, or even in the directions and direct lessons you give as a teacher. They add the Post-it notes to the chart. Younger students can simply discuss and share as part of a classroom meeting. There are a number of ways to continue this activity so students see the connection to what happens at school, both in terms of desired character traits and with academics. Divide the class into groups and conduct a review of the Post-it notes with an assignment of writing a story about what has transpired over the past 2 days. You can have the class sort the list into 2 categories, positive traits and negative traits. They could then choose 10 of the words that best describes themselves, and you can put the traits and where they saw evidence into Wordles and create an excellent classroom display. To follow with my lesson for you on TEAM, you could create a second chart with the letters T.E.A.M. and then have your students group the traits and identified actions by either teach, enforce, advocate, and model. You can even use symbols or pictures for the younger students that depict TEAM. A good practice when crafting your daily lesson plans would be to consciously reflect on how you in that lesson will team the pillars of character. As a closing activity, I'd like you to take each of the letters in the TEAM process for integrating character counts into your class and identify how it applies to whatever role you have. 1, what are 2 strategies you can do to teach character counts? Or secondly, how can you enforce the pillars of character? 3, what does it mean for you to advocate the pillars? And 4, what are desirable behaviors that reflect modeling the pillars on the part of adults at your school? I hope this lesson on your character connection is applicable to whatever role you have in educating students. You know I truly value the work of educators, as you are the ones that can make a difference in the lives of children and young people who have been entrusted to your care. Thanks again for all you do in making sure that character does count.